thanks so much for joining us on the call today. Just give us your thoughts on your preseason as you head into the Thursday night season opener against FIU, please.
Well, we had a great camp. I had a lot of veterans back on this squad, and they knew what to expect. And, we reported on July 30th and started practice July 31st, and I think we were able to get in everything that we wanted to. You always feel like there's not enough time, but I think this time we hit all the different situations and scenarios that you need to, look at prior to your first game of the year. Starting off with a great opponent in FIU. They've been in back-to-back bowl games. Coach Davis has really got it going down there. Real veteran squad. I believe they had 18 of 22 starters coming back on offense and defense. We played them a couple of years ago down at their place, and they got after us pretty good. So we know we've got a great opponent here in week one, and we're going to have to play really well.
Take questions for Coach Willie Fritz, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue, and the operator will introduce you.
And first we'll hear from Brooks Kabuna from The Advocate.
Hey, Willie, how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
I'm fine. Wanted to ask you about one of your old assistant coaches, Chad Lunsford, over at Georgia Southern, about to face LSU this week. Spread option, gun options, same kind of style you guys have. Just, with that offense, what makes it so difficult for defenses and difference from, like, the veer option?
Well, there's a lot of things. Matter of fact, we met with our staff. Bob DeBess, the offensive coordinator, was my offensive coordinator when I was the head coach at St. Houston State. So very familiar with what they're doing, and they're familiar with what we're doing too. It just you got to be assignment sound. It's like any option team. You got to do a good job of having somebody on the dive, somebody on the quarterback, somebody on the pitch. You'd like to have an extra player at the point of attack if at all possible. They run a lot of misdirection and motions and bringing guys back in. They call it spin and orbit motion, like we call it with the pitch player. And you just got to make sure you're, really assignment sound. And in order to really play it well, I think it's difficult to play it when you're not playing some kind of man coverage and packing the box. So that gives some one-on-one matchups, and it gives you a chance to hit some big plays in the passing game as well.
I know you did a lot for that program, seeing him go back-to-back 10-win seasons. I mean, does it look like Chad has this program where it needs to be, and just what can it be like over there?
Yeah, Chad's done a super job, and he's put together a great staff. They've got excellent facilities, and it's a very proud program. They've had a lot of success there over the years. I replaced Jeff Monk, and he did a great job there, and I did a great job at Army, and Paul Johnson was a head coach there at one time, and the guy who started it all, Eric Russell, who's a legend there in Statesboro. So, they've got a lot of history with the program, and I'm sure they're excited about coming over to LSU and competing against Coach O. And I know the year before I got to Georgia Southern, they went down to Florida and played them and had a big win there. So, it's that first game, and I'm sure both teams, I'm kind of Switzerland on this deal. And, I've got to know those guys over there down the road, and obviously I know everybody at Georgia Southern, so I'm just staying the heck out of the way.
Yeah, I think it's only one season. I said back-to-back, and you mentioned your ties to him. Who have you gotten more calls from over the offseason, Chad or Coach O?
Oh, I've kind of kept my mouth shut. When we talk about offense, we'll talk about it. But that's one of the things. I'm not one of those guys that likes to talk to other people, about who they're playing and all that other kind of stuff, especially when they're friends. And I know guys, so I just keep my mouth shut and let them figure it out. They're far smarter than me anyway.
Well, I appreciate it, Willie. Thank you.
You betcha.
And next we'll hear from Dan Tortora with WakeUpCallDT.com.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Dan?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Just what you could say about, this year's team, just where we're at with Tulane. I know when you came in, trying to, build a culture and build an environment in a tremendous city, just what you could say about where the team is now in your kind of planning and maybe creating some of that depth and whatnot?
Got a lot more, veterans back, a lot more experience coming back, but I've only got one guy on the team who was here before I got here. Keyshawn McLeod is going to start for us at right guard. We've been able to add some transfer guys who help that senior class with a few more numbers. But I thought we had a great recruiting class. I've been very impressed with the freshman class we've had in. And probably a couple of years ago, I could see anywhere from 5 to 10 of those guys starting for us. But we're deeper now, and we've got, we've done a nice job recruiting, I think, and we just got to keep developing, the program. We talk about recruiting the right guys that fit into Tulane academically, and also Division I athletes, and having a culture here where you get those guys to stay and you retain them and year after year, and that allows you to develop those guys. And I think I've got good teachers and coaches, and we've done a nice job of developing some of these guys, from high school to bona fide Division I players.
And then just to speak on the opportunity with Hurricane Katrina relief to come down to the city of New Orleans and to experience the people, especially the people in times of tragedy, and just how positive they were and how good they were even when they had every reason to be upset or be down. So just what you can say about the city of New Orleans being a special city and just what, kind of puts it on the map, because it is such a tremendous place.
Well, number one destination city in the world, according to the New York Times last year. And, I know I got people from all over the place coming to visit me now. They didn't used to come visit me when I was at some other places. So our kids enjoy it. We did something that I think was a great time the other day. We broke camp last Thursday night. We took the kids down to eat at a really nice place downtown. Then we did a second line for about 15, 20 blocks, and started with maybe, 150 guys and managers and trainers and coaches. And by the time we ended, and this was on a rainy night, we probably had 400 or 500 people there. So this is a really fun city, very proud city. Everybody's excited about the East Bank All-Stars being the Little League World Series champs. This just happened the other day too. So a lot of great things happening in New Orleans.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck with Week 1.
Thank you.
And any further questions for Coach Fritz, please? Star 1 on your telephone keypad if so.